take bite-sized piece of the patty into your mouth. That is ingestion, the first part of digestion. So when you take in the patty, you start to chew the patty with your teeth. So you crush it by saliva, which contains the enzyme amylase and starch. Alright? So while the patty is being moistened, amylase in the saliva will start to break down the starch that is in the crust. Because amylase works on starch, breaking it down into a sweet state of molecules. So that is happening while we are chewing the patty. Okay, meantime, when we roll up the patty has been crushed and grind into small bolus, and then it's pushed into the throat where it's swallowed, and then it is carried down to the stomach by a series of muscular contractions called peristalsis. And this will happen even if you are standing. So the muscular action will force the food down into the stomach. Alright? Also, saliva provides an alkaline background for which is ideal for the enzyme amylase to work. So when the food goes into the stomach, the gastric glands, which are located at the lining of the stomach, it will secrete a digestive juice called gastric juice, which contains 3 substances. The enzyme pepsin, which acts on the protein, it has dilute hydrochloric acid, which will kill any germ or bacteria that may be present in the food. And you have mucus, which protects the lining of the stomach from any effects of the acid. So when the patty reaches into the stomach, the digestion of the crust, digestion will stop because the acid will alter the pH, so it's no longer alkaline, which is unsuitable for amylase. The acid pH is very good and ideal for the enzyme pepsin, because pepsin works in an acidic background. Right, so the pepsin will start to break down the protein the patty would come from the beef, like a beef patty. Alright? And the crust may contain some amount of protein. It would have probably been with egg and salt. Right. So while the pepsin is breaking down the protein in the patty, the stomach, which is a muscular bean-shaped organ, will be churning the food. So the patty is being churned until it becomes a thick, creamy liquid that we call chine. Okay? And then the chine will stay in the stomach for about 2 to 3 hours. And the pyloric sphincter, that's the exit of the stomach, it is a sphincter muscle. It will relax, and then the chine will be squirted into the duodenum, which is the first part of small intestine. Inside the duodenum, it is supplied with digestive juice from 2 places. What was the first one? What was the first that supplied digestive juice? What was the first? The pancreas. The pancreas secretes what we call pancreatic juice, which contains 3 enzymes. Amylase, like what was in the mouth. You know already that starch. And it also contains lipase, which acts on fat. And it contains trypsin, which acts on protein, just like pepsin. Notice the similar sounding. Trypsin works on protein. Now, the liver produces a green liquid called bile, which is stored in the gallbladder, and the gallbladder releases it into the duodenum. The bile serves 2 purposes. It neutralizes the acidic content of the stomach, thereby creating an alkaline medium for which the amylase, like in the mouth, is able to continue working. The pepsin will stop digesting protein because it cannot work in an alkaline background. But trypsin and lipase, they will continue their job. Lipase acts on fat, so it will start to digest the fat. Trypsin will continue digestion of protein like what the pepsin started in the stomach. Are you listening? Right. So the protein will be converted to polypeptide. Fats being the last product to be acted on is actually the first one that is completely digested. So the life is first before that happens. The ladies, nice, hello, young lady, listen up. So the bile also emulsify the fat in the patty. And when we say emulsify, we mean that it fats to form droplets. Just like when you drop oil in water, you notice all the droplets? That's what it means by emulsify. Yeah, it causes it to form droplet. In other words, it emulsifies the fat. Alright? That's the term. So, when the fat forms droplet, it's easier for the lipase to attack it and break it down. Alright? So the lipase would completely digest the fat. And actually the fat being the last one to be the last one to start after the oil. But yet it's the first one to completely digest, which reminds you of the phrase that the last shall be first. Okay? So the fat is digested into fatty acid and glycerol, and then this is carried to the other part of the small intestine, the ileum, which contains in the lining what we call villi and microvilli, and in the center of the microvilli. These are finger-like projections. If you look at them under a microscope, they appear like finger-like. Understand? In the middle is the lactine, and the fatty acid and glycerol will be absorbed here. So that's the first food to be digested and absorbed into the bloodstream. The polypeptide, which is formed from the protein after the trypsin breaks it down, and the maltose from the starch, they will be carried to the ileum, and the ileum now is supplied with digestive juice from the lining of the stomach, what we call intestinal glands. Okay? The intestinal glands secrete intestinal juice, which contains several enzymes which will complete the digestion of the pathogen. So in the intestinal juice, you will have enzyme called maltase, which will complete the starch digestion by breaking down the maltose, which was converted from the starch by the amylase. Remember? So the maltase enzymes work on the maltose, converting it to sucrose. That is how in the villi and the microvilli. The microvilli have several capillaries that will, blood capillaries that will collect the digested food and transport it to the liver. So the next one now, the protein, the polypeptide, these will be acted upon by some protein enzymes. So enzymes that work on protein called peptidases. So these will break down the polypeptides into amino acid, which is the final stage of digestion for protein. Glucose is the final stage of digestion for carbohydrates. Fatty acid and glycerol is the final stage of digestion for fats. Is that clear? So when you reach this stage now, glucose for carbohydrates. So when you reach this stage now, it's absorbed into the lining of the stomach, into the ileum wall, then into the villi and microvilli. Now, the other undigested parts of the patty will be carried down to the large intestine, which consists of two parts, the colon and the rectum. But the undigested part would still have lots of fluids in there which contain useful nutrients like mineral and vitamin. So inside the colon you would have rapid absorption. So it will absorb all of these fluids which are rich in mineral and vitamin. And then what is left would be a semi-solid substance, which is what for stool or feces. You understand? And that will be carried to the rectum. And it will stay there until it is digested from the rectum through the anus, through the same muscular action of peristalsis. You understand? And that would be the complete digestion of the patty meal. The amino acid that is in the patty will be used by the body to build new cells and to repair others. You understand? And the excess, because the body can't store protein, it will by the liver into urea and uric acid, and these mix it with water will form urine, which will filter out by the kidney and sent to the bladder for when you have excretion. The glucose will be converted by a hormone from the pancreas called insulin, and it's converting glucose into a substance called glycogen, and this is the form that the body can store the liver. Alright? If you have glucose in the body like that, it can lead to diabetes. So it has to be converted into a storable form, you understand, which is glycogen. Alright, if you have excess amount of glucose, the body will change it into fat. Now the fatty acid and glycerol we use by the body, it used to insulate the body, so you have fat around the body. You know, like ladies, it will be more pronounced around the posterior area, you understand? With men and so you might see with the neck back, you have the little lobes, you understand? Or the abdomen, where you have big gut, so to speak. Alright, although I say men must have guts there, but not too much, you understand? I don't think I mean that. And yes, so you also fat in the chest area. So it's important to when we look at nutrition. Your diet or the proportion of nutrients that you consume should be relevant to the type of lifestyle. If you're an athlete or a construction worker, you will need a diet rich in protein and carbohydrate because you need energy and you'll be building muscle. You follow what I'm saying? A secretary or those people who job mainly, they are seated, that's called a sedentary lifestyle. They would not need a lot of carbohydrate. You understand? Because it's going to just convert a balance. You understand? But that's for another topic. So that is the whole story about digestion, using